Hey, yo, what's good? So I'm out here I'm out working on board and I'm watching all these Starfield videos because I can't get enough of Starfield. My space balls are just going ludicrous all over it. But anywho, so I thought I was watching these YouTubers that I like, Moist Critical, Review Tech USA, and they had some interesting takes about Starfield. So I thought I'd check out what they got to say, respond to it in the way I feel, basically. And I'll tell you guys how I feel about Starfield and all the other junk. So let's give this a watch here.
So annoyed. It's space! We don't need freaking pronouns and bio for space.
Oh my god, pronouns! Pronouns! I don't know.
Okay, so that whole pronoun shit, honestly, I think a lot of these fuckers are just looking for things to just shit about the game, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a rat's ass? Like, okay, I'm not into that whole, I'm he, them, this, et, or that, go, go, go. I'm not into that. It's whatever, but if that's what you're gonna do with your life, go ahead, Why? So why does that even fucking matter? Why does it even matter? I want to know who that bitch is, actually. If she played Cyberpunk and liked it, oh my god. If that bitch played Cyberpunk, somebody let me know. If she played Cyberpunk and liked it, then she's a huge hypocrite right there. Because Cyberpunk, we all know how Cyberpunk was. Honestly, and I want to love Cyberpunk. I like it. It bored the hell out of me. Whatever.
Into everything! Every single sundry thing! So we remember our heavy metal friend Dan Vask, glorious hair by the way. He said he was going back to Skyrim because it's not political, it's not woke at all, right? Skyrim.
Oh,
Skyrim, you can...
Okay, that guy is a total fucking idiot. I am a metalhead and I am ashamed. I'm listening to gore grind right now, which is brutal death metal and grindcore. Squealing like, that's what it is, right? That's brutal shit. Okay? So this motherfucker says he's gonna go back to Skyrim because it wasn't political, it wasn't woke or anything. You do realize that in Skyrim there's racism? The Nords do not like anybody who is a Nord, really, if you really think about it. They don't like the Dark Elves. They don't like the Imperials. They don't like the Bretons. Or I don't know, I think they're cool with the Bretons. But okay, but if you go to Winterhold, right? Wait, is it Winterhold or Windhelm? No, it's Winterhold. You go to Winterhold where fucking, what's his name? What the hell is his name? Ulfric Stormcloak. If you go to Ulfric Stormcloak, right? In that town, there's a group of Nords who are picking on a very hot-looking Dark Elf. Like, this motherfucking racist piece of crap, how dare they? And the Argonians, the lizard people. If you go around the fucking city and into the docks, the Argonians basically live on the docks. And oh my gosh, those the Dark Elves, they live in a very crowded part of the town where you could clearly tell shit is being dumped into the yard. Fuck you, dude. Like, fuck this wannabe heavy metal. He probably listens to Limp Bizkit or some shit like that. Nah, dude. And another thing, there is same-sex marriages in there. You could marry that dude. What's that dude's name? He talks like this. Welcome to War, Megans. Is that on Amulet of Mara? Like, you can marry that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a war between two factions who are clearly different races. Sure, they got the same color skin, but they're different races. I don't know everything about Skyrim. My brother practically lived it. But, dude, there's racism in it. There's same-sex marriages in it. So fuck this fake-ass heavy metal guy. Real quick, I just wanted to add something here because I was going... There's another thing about the politics in Skyrim. Well, the Nords are forbidden to worship a god. We're worshiping Talos. Pretty much the Nords want to keep Skyrim the way it is, right? They want to keep Skyrim the way it is, but the Imperials, they want to make it better. And that comes with stop worshiping this lord who isn't a lord. It's kind of like how it is in real life where you know, I believe that the Jews don't believe that Jesus was a god, but the Christians believe he was a god. It's kind of like that.
NPCs will give you the meanest stink eye this side of the galaxy's ever seen. If you talk to them or if you walk by them, they'll hit you with this.
Okay, Moisty here, good old Charlie, he's not lying. They do look at you kind of weird, and a lot of the women in this game, don't they look like Ripley from fucking what's that movie? Alien? See, look, a lot of these women look like Ripley. I actually have a girl who looks like, well, I call her Horizon because she looks like Horizon from Apex Legends. Well, she talks like her, but she looks like fucking Ripley with reddish brown hair, right? So he's not lying. They do look alike. Yes, I'll agree with Moisty here that it's a little disappointing that there wasn't enough facial features, in which is kind of stupid because if you really think about it, L.A. Noire had the best facial features in video game history. If you haven't played L.A. Noire, check it out. The face technology was so good. It's a shame because the company behind it, they didn't even fucking last, which was terrible because that game should have been Rockstar's like second best selling game, you know? The facial it was so good. That's why I'm actually sad that most video games don't have facial recognition, you know, expressional faces like that. Because, I mean, the whole game was based on trying to figure out if that person was lying or not. So, yeah, that is a little disappointing.
Planet, apparently. There's a lot of invisible walls, if you can believe that, which is very disappointing to hear. And during my entire journey spent going across this planet, it was entirely fucking empty. Just rocks, flat ground, and a couple of space animals. And by couple, I mean one space animal type per planet from everything I've seen, and they just kind of stack them occasionally in clusters, so it feels...
Okay, so right there what Charlie said, I kind of agree and disagree at his... Well, the disagreeing is because... Okay, yeah, there isn't really a lot on those planets, right? Like, there isn't too much. I went to planet Earth just because we had to go to Venus. Or no, we had to go... No, we had to go to Uranus. No, Neptune, sorry. So, whatever. I ended up going to Earth, and I thought I just wanted to be cute and landed on where I live, which is fucking ghetto-ass Southern Cali next to the fucking Tijuana and shit. It was all pure desert. It was just rocks and dead shit everywhere. There was water, but I think it was contaminated or something, which makes sense. But other planets, yeah, Charlie is right. From what I've seen on my adventures, I've only run into bug aliens. They look like scorpions, they look like crabs, and they look like maggots. And flies without wings, which is fine, you know. I mean, the whole alien conspiracy is that there's insectoloids, you know, and I'm disappointed that there's no aliens that are fucking living, breathing. I thought it was going to be like Mass Effect. Find yourself an alien woman and plow her, you know? No, there is no fucking... There's barely anything, or hopefully there's a DLC for it, because honestly, that's kind of stupid. But I think what Bethesda is trying to go for is a realistic thing. The whole invisible walls that Charlie said, I haven't experienced that yet. It's because when I'm on those lands, I'm looking for resources. I don't care if there's another town, or I don't care. I really don't give a shit about that. I like the exploring and gathering the resources to try to upgrade my gun and upgrade my shit, because I'm playing it on very hard. And that's another thing, very hard doesn't feel very hard. It feels hard. But I mean, the reason why I like playing the games on hard is because it gives me a reason to grind, and it's like a motivational thing to get me out there. But the argument I have towards why there isn't much towns or anything on the planets, my argument is that maybe Bethesda is going with a theoretically realistic, because from what Starfield looks like the human race is barely, you know, filling the universe, you know? So what I mean by that is like it's kind of like when I don't know, who are those people? It's kind of like the fucking Europeans coming to the United States. Look how long it took for them to get across everywhere, you know? You know, I mean, I'm a little dusty on my history because I know a lot of history and I just get mixed up with people. But, you know, so the reason why I say that is because maybe realistically, those planets, it's too hard to find the resources, the money, and the manpower to actually have so many cities. Don't get me wrong, I'm a little disappointed that there isn't a lot of cities. But looking at it from that point of view, that maybe the reason why it's like that is because there's not enough resources and it's still new. I mean, how long ago did they discover that planet? How long ago, you know how long it takes to build a city? You know, I mean, we can be assholes and say, oh, but it's the future. Shouldn't it be done faster? Right, but, you know, still, you got to make sure the ground is fine and, secure the area and make sure there's no alien life form underneath that can develop, or maybe there's some geographic or seismic activity, because you know how some places on Earth there's a lot more earthquakes than others, and there's active volcanoes. Maybe that's how it is in these starfield planets. Maybe there's certain spots on the planet you just can't live in because of toxic gas or brimstone. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as there's not enough. There's another thing. There's so much mining happening in that damn game. So, all that mining's a big business. That means that they're really, really looking for people to create buildings and to really population size those damn planets, I'm trying to look for words so I can sound smart. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's the reason why. There's just not enough resources, and better to have one planet, or better to have one city that has everything than to have a planet filled with shit. And there's another thing. There's another theory I have. What if that's what humanity just decided? Because look at Earth. If you go to Earth in Starfield, it looks like a shithole. It looks like it got hit by a fucking nuke. There's nothing. So, what if that's what people in this Starfield universe realize? Like, we can't have too many cities on a planet because of the pollution that humans create. Maybe it'll be better if one big ass city just exists and that's it. A couple mining places, a couple places, obviously there's space pirates everywhere, and once space pirates see come on, it's really going to be hard to protect a bunch of cities if there's a bunch of space pirates everywhere and there's all these, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what it means too. I think that's why Bethesda cooled it with that. I mean, or you could just be an asshole and say, nah, they didn't even try, you little bitch. Relax, it's not real life. Go touch grass. I'll do better, I'll hump it.
Ship and there's a ton of planets you can go to, and that's cool, I guess, until you actually go there and realize how tiresome it is and how not fun at all that component of it is, which is a huge selling point of it. It's just disappointing, really.
Okay, Charlie, I get you right there. He's got a point. As I was saying earlier, when you go to certain planets, there's really nothing on that planet. It's just a rock. It's just mindlessly floating there, right? Like, I went to Jupiter and I couldn't land there. I thought it was stupid. Like, why can I not land on Jupiter? Better yet, I couldn't even land on Saturn. It was so stupid, man. Real dumb. So dumb. It's so... I couldn't say that with a straight face. I know why you can't land there. Shut up. Anyone who got that joke, you're the coolest person ever. But yeah, okay. So Charlie, I get what Charlie was saying there. And it's true. It is kind of lame that there really isn't much on a planet. But in real life, it's the fucking truth. If you go to Neptune... No, sorry. If you go to Pluto, which, by the way, Pluto is a planet. Fuck what Earth says. Pluto is a planet. It's a planet. It's not a fucking rock. It's a fucking planet because there's water underneath it. It's frozen, but there's still water in it. They call it a dwarf star or something. No, they call it a dwarf planet, so it's not really a planet. Fuck you. Yes, it is. It's a planet. But anyways, so So okay, so there, he says that there's other buildings out there that don't have any fucking, they don't have anything. There's nothing out there. So that's disappointing. But that's real life, Charlie. That's real life. If they land on Mars and there's nothing there. I mean, yeah, the argument is there's a couple of things like pyramids and stuff like that. Well, we won't know until we get there, right? But if you go to other distant planets, maybe they just can't settle there. Like, I think Bethesda's trying to go with a little bit of realism when it comes to space travel, because let's be real, I think the realism in that game is pretty decent mixed with the fantasy. Because there's nothing there. There's nothing on those fucking rocks. There's nothing on those planets. It's just an area to harvest material, mercury, fucking, what's it, gold, silver, chlorine. There's just a bunch of material, and I think that's what's realistic. Maybe you just can't settle on Pluto, you know? Maybe they don't have the technology, or maybe they don't have the resources or time to waste to live on Pluto. Pluto is so cold, right, that your skin will fucking just completely die in seconds. So maybe that's what maybe that's why there's that reason there's not a lot of colonies on those planets. They want it to be a little realistic, right? Which, I mean, yeah, we can argue and say that, oh, but you can land there though and create a subtle base. True, you can do that. But honestly, the bases, though, if you really think about it, it's just a place to be so you can go mine and go back instead of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I kind of disagree with Charlie on that point. I think it's a cool addition because something about being in a planet all by yourself, it gives me the chills, but in a good way, you know? Like that feeling you get when you get on a roller coaster, you know it's scary as fuck because you can probably fall and get killed. But the whole feeling of being alone, that isolation, and you think about, like, man, people died. You know, people died on this planet. I'm the only one here. I don't know. I get kind of cool vibes out of that. Maybe because I'm crazy.
Now, another big thing is this game is kind of like a loading screen simulator. Since exploration is so fucking awful, most of the time you're just going to be fast traveling around this game anyway. So you're constantly going to be going from loading screen to loading screen.
Yeah.
And on PC that's fine because it's quick, but it's just constant loading screen simulator anytime you're doing anything because you don't really have any reason.
Yeah, he's right. There is a lot of loading screens, and honestly, I don't like the start system or the pause menu to go to the inventory, and the star map is a little annoying too, that you have to hold down X to get out of it, or hold down B, sorry. Well, if you're playing, oh, you're not playing PlayStation, my bad. That wasn't even a joke. I wasn't even trying to be funny. I forgot. But yeah, you hold down B, it's kind of annoying.
If you try and bring up a map, there isn't one. And I don't get why. It's super easy to get lost because of that.
Yeah, Charlie's right too. The map in that game is useless as fuck. I mean, you got the planet map where you can see all around the planet and actually pick the location on the planet you want to go to. Like, that part's cool. I think that's pretty cool. Like, on Earth, I landed in the Arctic, and I landed on the very top, the North Pole, and I landed at my ex-girlfriend's house and took a dump where I thought she died. But, you know, that's fucking... I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. I love her. I don't hate her. Allegations. I don't want to get canceled. But yeah, dude, he's absolutely right. The little map that you get, it's all blue. You can't tell where you're at. That is a little annoying. But you're on a planet with really nothing there, so you don't need a map. I don't even know where the compass is at. I think there is a compass in that game. I just don't know where it's at. I don't give a shit, because all you got to do is turn on your little scanner, and you kind of get a direction of where you want to go. And the fast traveling, yeah, well, I hardly do it because I like collecting material, and I'm always heavy when it comes to that stuff, because I collect everything I find. Well, material-wise, I collect everything. But yeah, I agree with Charlie there, though. It's really stupid. You do get lost, but like I said, I like the immersion. Well, so, okay. My thoughts on Starfield, I give it a 9 out of 10. And I give it a 9 out of 10 because it would have been a 10-10 for me if it had a little bit more... if I had more... I don't know. This is the weird way I'm going to describe it. This is the longest part of the video, so if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Much love. Much love, and I hope you get the best things in life. But So I like Conan Exiles. If you never played Conan Exiles, it's just like Ark. You know, it's a survival game. You gather materials, you create stuff. But but Conan Exiles has this thing where you could find thralls. I would call them slaves, but you can't do that, I guess. But they're called thralls, right? So you go to camps or you go to random places and you bunk them on the head and you take them back to your base. You put them on a wheel of pain and give them some food, and they become basically your workers, your thralls. And they each have their own special values. They're cooks, they are priests, they are blacksmiths, fighters, archers, hunters, etc., right? Now, I want that mechanic in almost every open world survival video game. The fact that you can have a little army, and yes, I'm gonna be a little weenie pervert and say that yes, I want a crew of all chicks, right? I know it's like, dude, go outside and touch some fucking grass. You know what, dude? You know the fuck what? You know the fuck what? Whoever said go touch fucking grass right now, I'm about to. You want to hear something weird? You want to hear something weird? Look at that. I'm humping a bush. You hear that? I'm humping a bush. Hi, miss. I'm at work right now. Somebody looked at me weird. Okay. It's just a little fantasy, okay? It's just a little fantasy. I got girls. I got girlfriends. I got game. My mom's old friends. Anyways. I like that mechanic, right? So there isn't really enough of that relationship type thing that they got going on in there, you know? Like, I don't like that I can't have relationship goals in that game, because I don't know, I think it makes it fun, even though I did pick introvert on that shit. So that's one thing. Another thing I don't like is the fact that you can't land on the planet just like a No Man's Sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, in that game, you can't even use your ship to drive around the map. How stupid is that? That's fucking stupid too. And another thing, there's no aliens besides creatures. There's no dog. Bethesda, how did you fuck that up? How did you fuck that up? Can you imagine having a little dog with a spacesuit on? Oh, that's adorable, dude. How the fuck? Bethesda, you wanted to please the people with pronouns, but you forgot to please the most important people, the animal lovers out there. Am I right? Especially I like button if I'm right, but come on. Or put hashtag pet lover in the comments. Dude, that's another thing. I was pissed. I go, I can't get a dog? I can't get a fucking dog? And the melee weapons, there's not enough. I'm running around with an axe, and it's cool. And I find it ironic that it's an emergency axe and we're using it to kill things. I mean, protecting yourself, yeah, obviously that's an emergency. But still, you know? I want a sword. Can we get a sword? I mean... oh my god, Cyberpunk even had a wide variety of weapons, and they had some cool ass weapons. How come we couldn't have that in Starfield? They just focused on stupid sandwiches. Fuck sandwiches, man. And yeah, dude, I think that's all the real criticism I have of the game. I don't really mind it of the little shit, you know. The whole faces and stuff like that, and the characters kind of look the same. Yeah, I'm a tad disappointed in that, but who gives a fuck, you know? Who really gives a fuck? But I get it if you're like a real Bethesda fan and you're just like, yeah, dude, they could have did better. You're right, they could have did a little better, yeah. But I mean, I'm only 8 hours into the game. I'm hardly doing the main story. I'm running this. Normally, I don't like doing side quests. Like, okay, like for Skyrim, for example, I hated the side quests in Skyrim. I fucking hated them. I wanted to just do the main mission. And I didn't know which one was the main mission. At least in Starfield, it tells you, or it shows you with an icon, which is the main mission, and it's the badge with the rainbow on it. So I'm never going to get lost, but in that game, I'm willing to do all the side quests. Like, that's super fun to me. And actually, and you know, like, I like it. I want this whole Outlaw Star Cowboy Bebop type thing, and I'm trying to do something like that. But yeah, that's what I give the game. I like it for what it is. I wish there was more, obviously, but I'm happy that I spent $30 on it because I had the Game Pass and I didn't want to wait. It was 2 days away and I didn't want to wait. I was like, fuck this. $31. So Review Tech and Charlie there, I get how they feel about the game, and yeah, it's fine. Everyone's cup of tea is different, but that's my criticism towards it. You know, not enough space hotties. I want an alien girlfriend with tentacles. I'm gonna build my own planet with alien chicks and blackjack. In fact, forget the blackjack.